Hi, I'm Chris, and we are talking about these Grammy changes because you know I am a sucker for the Grammys, I guess, and I have to talk about it because I'm obsessed. Whatever. We all have things that float our boat. Mine are the Grammys. Social media in the description. I have been posting. I came back to TikTok. I said I would, and I'm back. I came back a little early, but that's okay. I've been trying to post every day. And that's okay because it's just kind of like little things that come up that I don't really want to make a whole YouTube video about, but want to talk about anyways. So like today, I'm filming this on Sunday. You'll see this tomorrow, May 3rd. So yesterday's TikTok, for you, is going to be about that new Billie Eilish Vogue cover, because that was really different. So go check that out. I said I was gonna figure out how to cross post TikToks onto here. I still have not figured out how to do that. I think you just have to put hashtag short, but like I don't believe that. I don't believe that, so we'll see. But the Grammys have made some steps to making it a little bit more transparent. Let's discuss. So first thing that they changed was the eligibility period, by the way. This is a kind of a minor change to me, but it used to be September 1st to August 31st. They did this because of like fighting between the Oscars and the Grammys. I don't know if you guys know this, but the Oscars and the Grammys are trying to fight to be like the more relevant one, or the more like on top of pop culture and on top of like the thrum of what the people want. And neither of them really are. So it's funny to watch. But the Oscars had started encroaching on Grammy territory with when the Grammys can hold their award show, because the Grammys usually hold like late January and then the Oscars were usually February, and pre-COVID. This is all pre-C word. And so the Grammys had shortened their eligibility period to like September to August. But now, so the 64th Grammy Awards will be January 31st, 2022, and the eligibility period is September 1st, 2020 through September 30th, 2021. So if you're wondering what's eligible, anything released in the second half of or I guess the last quarter of 2020 into the first 3 quarters of 2021. The way the Grammys worked before was that eligibility period would end, right? Songs would be submitted, go to the first round of voting, and then the Academy would take the top 20 most voted songs and give them to a committee. The committee would then decide from there which songs to nominate, 5 to 8 songs depending on the category. This was problematic because sometimes the committees would take songs from lower on the list and nominate them and then leave out some of the higher voted songs, right? So even if you were song number 7 voted, if we're talking like a record of the year, right, and your song was the 7th most voted out of all of those, you still might not get a nomination even though there's 8 spots, because somebody on the committee could have decided to put a song that they had more connections to financially than your song, right? The other thing too, this specifically all kind of came out when Deborah Dugan sued the Recording Academy, and that's an arbitration, so we will not know the ending of that. We won't know how that ends. But in her lawsuit, she alleged that people on the committees would nominate songs that they were connected to, that it would be CEOs, that it would be managers, it would be people that were not musicians, basically, and they would vote for the songs that they had financial ties to because it means better for them and their shareholders when your songs win Grammys, right? Right, okay. But now there are no committees. Committees have been eliminated. This is a good thing. I think this is overall a good thing. So now what it should be is that there's round 1 of voting, and then the top 5 to 8 songs are the ones nominated, and then there's round 2, top most voted song, and round 2 gets the Grammy. I think that's fine. I think that's totally 110% okay. Fine. What I would like to see them do further when they announce nominations, I would like them to say how many votes happened, or each song that got nominated got, because I would really like to see like what the percentages are, so we can see. Am I aware? So actually, let me just add this. This video is not scripted. I don't know if you can tell. I'm aware that that's gonna kind of be like, you know, a little, because like, you know what, like you'll know which is the most voted song and which is the least voted song, and that having that information public could probably sway the voting base or whatever, and then get like the stands angry. But when are the stands not angry? Truly, I mean, they're not, stands are never not going to be angry at the Grammys, so they just better like be okay with that. They missed their chance. They had one chance and they missed it. So um but it's something that I would like to see, because first of all, I'm just interested in the stats of like how many votes do you need to get nominated for, like what should the percent be, like do you need to have a super high, do you need to have like 24% of the voters voting for your category vote for your song in order to get nominated, or can it be like a smaller one? I don't know, we'll see. I think that's interesting. That would be interesting, and that's something that I would like to see. I know that there can be problems with that, but I would like to see it. Then the other two things they're doing regarding the voting process, they're reducing the number of categories a voter may vote from 15 to 10 with no more than 3 fields. So that's good, because I feel like if you lessen the categories that voters are allowed to vote, it forces them to really think about where their input is most valuable, versus just voting anywhere. Because again, Deborah Dugan alleged, because it's in arbitration, so I don't know if it was true or not. It was probably true. It's not that I don't believe her. I 100% believe her. It's just that legally, I have to say, alleged. Deborah Dugan alleged that sometimes people would vote in categories that they had nothing to do with. So I feel like limiting the categories, granted, it's only 5 categories that they're subtracting, so like 10 total, so there's still probably going to be people poking their nose where they shouldn't be. I think that if you're a Grammy voter and you watch this, I really want you to think about where your input is most valuable. You know, not just like what do you do, like who do you interact with in your day-to-day like career and job that you can really have, that you know, right? And then when you're sitting there and you're looking at songs and you're thinking about what you want to vote for first round, right? Like, vote in the categories that you know the most about. Like, that's what it should be. So like somebody who's a pop producer who only works with pop artists should not be voting in the rap category if they've never really worked with a rap artist, right? Country artists should not be voting in the pop category. Even though most of country music is just pop music with an accent nowadays, I stand by that. Unless if you're like somebody that like bends genres, right? So if you're like Taylor Swift, right? Yeah, I would accept that Taylor Swift can vote in the country and pop category. She's been there, so she knows, right? If you're Doja Cat or Lil Nas X, I would say, yeah, you like Doja Cat should vote in the pop and rap categories along with Lil Nas X when they become they're not voters yet, but when they become voters, like I would accept that, because those are both things that they know pretty well. Those are both industries and types of music they know pretty well. Rina Sawanama, I can say her name, I just have to say it. Rina, right? If she becomes a Grammy voter, and I hope she can, I hope that the Brits don't exclude her from being a Grammy voter also. But if she wants to be and she becomes a Grammy voter, right? Like, she's somebody that should be able to vote in both pop and rock, because she does both. So but it needs to be something that like people like, you know, the best, or you know a lot about. So if you're genre bending, I want you to be able to have a say in both sides of that coin, but like I also don't want people who don't do that to, you know what I mean? Okay, I'm rambling. And I feel like these changes, the other thing they're doing too is they're going to vet their voting base to make sure that they still have people who are active in the music industry, which is fine. I like that. I would like to see more information about what the vetting process is. I would also like to see them get rid of executives, managers, A&R people, basically anyone that's not actively involved in the act of creating music. Those people I would like to see out of the base, and I would like to just see like artists, performers, producers, sound engineers, people like that, in the voting base. I ultimately think these changes make the Grammy process a little more democratic. Just a little. And when I say democratic, like, it doesn't have to be like the United States, where everyone should get a say in everything, right? Like that's really what I believe for like the country, like the government. This is like, you know, the highest honor of someone's career, right? Like this is a career award. It's the highest honor of someone's career. So I need career people to have a say in this so that it is actually an award of the peers, by the peers, for the peers of the recording industry, right? Do you get me? Does that make sense? Oh, there's also a craft category realignment, but that's like for the actual like physical putting together of either album packaging or like songs. And the committee still exists for that. And why that's not great, I kind of understand the reasoning there, because like you want the actual like album designers to nominate albums that actually have good design. You want the recording engineers to nominate productions that actually have a good sound design. That's not something that's necessarily intuitive to everyone who listens to music. So like I get it. I get it. Okay, and now there's new categories added. There's 2 new Grammys awards, bringing up from 84 to 86. One is Best Global Music Performance in the global music field, and one is Best Musica Urbana Album in the Latin music field. I don't know what Musica Urbana means. I just don't. It's a Latin field, so I'm assuming probably Spanish music. So we'll see, probably urban. I don't know what that means. When the Grammys say the word urban, I genuinely do not know what they mean. Like, I'm not sure what they're talking about. So, Best Global Music Performance in the global music field. This is something that kind of caused a little bit of an uproar on Army Twitter. But I feel like they were kind of misunderstanding the situation and kind of jumping the gun on when they should be angry. So let me just explain. Global music field in the Grammys is about traditional music. Oftentimes people using traditional methods of creating music, traditional instruments. I need you to think of like music types that were not developed in the United States or Canada or the UK or even just Europe in general, except for few exceptions. Because somebody from Ireland won. I remember an Irish singer won one year. And then like the Latin music categories are clearly like Mexico and South America, right? It's a little racist, like it smells a little bit, right? But it's basically just traditional, and the emphasis is that it has to be a traditional type of music that is not pop music or rock music or rap and R&B or country music, right? Like it has to be, or jazz, because there's jazz categories, right? It has to be a music type that is not that. ARMYs were upset because they feel like BTS is going to end up being relegated to this global category. As of right now, and I'm filming this on May 2nd, 2021, as of right now, this day, that is not possible and will not happen. Let me explain. BTS and K-pop in general make pop music in Korean. They don't make traditional Korean music. They just make pop music in Korean. BTS specifically, for the song that they will probably submit to this round of Grammys, it's called Butter, and I will make a video. I will be on it. I'll be on it. Please, I already have 15 minutes, like, outlined of, like, I'll be on it. Butter is going to be in English, so BTS are releasing an English pop song. If the Grammys even attempted, if anyone even had the thought of putting an English pop song into the global music category because the people producing it happen to be from Korea, it will be over. It will be over. Like, truly, and, like, they're already kind of over. Like, they will be truly over because there's there's literally no reason except from where they're from, right? And now there are award shows that are based on your citizenship, right? The Brits, for example, are like that. And I don't know if you guys remember, but in like 2020, I think it was, Rina Sawayama, again, was not nominated for the Brits that year and could not be because she has Japanese citizenship. And it was actually a big fucking deal because she had lived in the UK for 30 years. She had lived in the UK longer than Dua Lipa has been alive. Like, that was the actual argument that was made. She was like, I have been here longer than Dua Lipa has been breathing. And you're not going to nominate me because, and they didn't nominate her because she wasn't a British citizen, but Japan doesn't allow dual citizenship. And she was like, I don't want to have to give up my citizenship to Japan because her entire family lives there. I don't want to have to give up this connection to my heritage and my family just so I can get nominated for an award. What the fuck? And now the citizenship thing has been changed. She was able to change that, right? So the Grammys are not the Brits, and it's not based on citizenship, and the Brits aren't even based on citizenship either. So they can't throw BTS when they're making an English pop song into the global music category because it would be genuinely like they actually would not be able to have a Grammys that year. Like, you don't understand how bad that would be for them. And with the removal of the committees, there isn't even the chance for them to say, let's move BTS to the global pop category. First of all, because they didn't last year. Last time around, Dynamite was pop duo group. It wasn't even like they didn't move, BTS wasn't moved to the global music category there. And also, like, the committees were the ones that would move songs from category to category. So, like, and this is what Justin Bieber alleges, when Justin Bieber alleged that he had submitted his album into the R&B category, but he ended up being nominated for pop, he was like, but I submitted for R&B. It was because either his label had submitted him for pop or the committees had moved him, right? So that can't happen anymore because there's no more committees. Now, it would even be a stretch, before I talk about what I think they're going to do, it would be even a stretch, because there are some BTS songs that use traditional Korean instruments, and ways of singing. It would be a stretch to put a song like Idol in the global music category, because while Idol does use traditional Korean instruments, it also uses South African beats, which is fine, I guess global, but also, like, it mixes, like, use of 2012 like festival EDM pop and Nicki Minaj. So I'm not really sure if you could have put Idol in the global music category in 2019 ceremony. Like, I'm not even sure it would have worked then. So as of right now, BTS will submit to pop, will be considered to pop, and will most likely be nominated again for pop, because I know Butter is going to be the song of the summer 2021. Like, come on, get on the army train. Come on. But I do think we are heading towards the Grammys introducing a global pop category. And then music written not in English or Spanish will be, because there's the Latin categories, will be put into that category. Which is when we would need to be angry, because again, to me, it makes no difference what language the pop music is in. It's still pop music. Okay? Like, it makes no difference to me. It's still pop music. And if it's a good pop song, it's a good pop song, right? And some of the interesting thing about listening to music in different languages is hearing the different types of rhymes and rhythms they use with their lyrics because of how different the language is, okay? But, like, it doesn't matter. Pop music is pop music to me. So it shouldn't matter where it's from. It shouldn't matter what the language is. It's just pop music, and it's fun. I have fun listening to this type of stuff. Okay, I love listening to BTS and TXT. Like, I like it. I like it just as much as I like listening to Dua Lipa and Britney Spears. Like, it shouldn't matter. But I do think we're gonna get into a global pop situation, and then that will be kind of a red flag, because suddenly, and this is what happens, like, suddenly BTS will only be nominated in global pop. They'll stop getting pop duo group. They'll stop getting general categories. And it'll be like, why are you complaining? Why are you complaining? You have a category to yourself. And it's like, well, no, like, they're selling out stadiums here. They're topping our charts. They should be able to just be part of the Grammys. They're topping charts in every major, they're topping charts and selling out stadiums in every major musical market in the world. Like, they should be, like, anyways, so that's it. So, just to recap, they got rid of the nominations committees. There's no reasons for armies to be angry at the new categories yet until they add a global pop category, and then you can bring out the, then we can burn it down. If BTS ends up in the global category with an English song released primarily for the US, I mean, you know, like, I cannot genuinely tell you how much of a fuck up that would be. Like, that would be the worst possible. Like, BTS could, like, they wouldn't even have to, like, do anything, because everyone else would be like, what the fuck? Like, it would be bad. Okay, so that's all I have today. Thank you for watching my obsession with the Grammys. I will see you next week for something. I don't know. It'll be something. Mother's Day, actually, probably. Happy Mother's Day. I won't see you before then. Happy Mother's Day. Socials are in the description, just TikTok and Twitter. I've been posting again on TikTok, so check that out. I'm moving to a Monday schedule, so this is uploaded on Monday. Everything will be uploaded on Mondays. And yeah, thank you very much. I will see you next week. I love you.